No siendo ese el caso, continuamos sobre la...
This not being the case, we will continue. Based on the decisions taken at our second meeting, we shall now hear the petitioners who wish to make statements on the question of the British Virgin Islands. The first petitioner is Mr. Finies, and I invite him to take a seat at the petitioner's table and to take the floor. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Chair, distinguished delegates, I speak on behalf of the Bonaire Human Rights Organization to address the situation of the British Virgin Islands from a human rights perspective. The draft resolution adopted by the C24 in June reaffirms a fundamental principle of the international law and the United Nations Charter. There is no alternative to the principle of self-determination in the decolonization process of the BVI. This principle is not merely political. It's a binding human right enshrined in instruments such as the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. All peoples have the right to freely determine their political status and pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. Chair, let us remember that the UN was founded in 1945 on a fundamental promise to decolonize the world and guarantee freedom and equality for all, regardless of size, geography, or financial position. Yet today, the Caribbean still suffer the legacy of colonialism compounded by centuries of transatlantic slavery and indigenous genocide. Many of these peoples, including those of the BVI and us, remain colonies and continue to experience subordination and deprivation. For those who grew up in post-colonial contexts, it's almost impossible to fully grasp the daily realities, deeper struggles, and aspirations of people still living under colonial rule. It is the duty as free and decolonized peoples and nations here in this chamber, in this room, to elevate these voices and support their right to self-determination. The draft resolution rightly emphasizes that the BVI people require flexible and innovative approaches to self-determination without prejudice to population size, geography, or resources. Yet, we are concerned that a ministering power has placed on hold an order of council that could partially suspend the Constitution unilaterally, an act that contradicts self-determination and human rights law. In 2024, Vincent Mission confirmed that the BVI is ready to take steps towards self-government, and the territorial government has completed the agreed reforms. The Caribbean holds the largest concentration of non-decolonized territories, and the last decolonization in this region was in Kitts and even 4 decades ago. This is a historic moment to break the impasse and finally fulfill the UN mandate. We call upon the Committee to full decolonization of the BVI, urge the administrative power to act in good faith, and request the UN system to continue monitoring and facilitating the BVI people's right to self-determination. Self-determination is not a privilege. It's a human right that must be realized now for the people.
Doy las gracias.